Tesla dealerships are being attacked right now, or there are a lot of protests at these dealerships, and Elon Musk goes on Fox News to talk about how innocent he is in all of this, and how innocent little cars didn't hurt anybody, didn't do anything to anyone, and people are just hurting them for no reason.
Yeah, I mean, it's really come as quite a shock to me that there's this level of really hatred and violence from the left. I always thought the left, or the Democrats, were supposed to be the party of empathy, the party of caring, and yet they're burning down cars, they're firebombing dealerships.
I know, those poor cars, huh? They live in fear now. Those cars, those poor little guys, didn't do anything to anybody, and now their poor seat is singed. I mean, that's gonna hurt for the rest of its life. No, aside from that, I don't actually believe in violence. I think that's wrong. Not productive. I don't want to live in a world where violence is acceptable. However, Elon Musk probably should have seen this one coming, giving Nazi salutes as he has, supporting Nazis, retweeting Nazis over and over again, that type of deal.
They're firing bullets into dealerships. They're just, smashing up Teslas.
Again, I don't believe in violence, political violence, but yeah.
Tesla is a peaceful company. We've never done anything harmful. I've never done anything harmful. I've only done productive things.
Really? Okay, interesting. How can he even keep a straight face saying this after completely destroying the federal government, after effectively selling out Ukraine? They're using Starlink satellites to communicate with each other on the battlefield, and as some Ukrainian generals have said recently, suspiciously, as soon as they turn on the Starlink network connection, they're hit by a Russian attack, weirdly, just out of nowhere. Almost like their positions are being given away by turning on their internet. How can you say this with a straight face, claim that you are not responsible here? How can you claim that you're not hurting people? How many millions of people lost their jobs because of you? How many people are now living in a completely destabilized, uncertain situation, financial situation? How many people were about to retire from their government job that they'd done for 20 years, only to have it crushed to pieces by you? Countless millions of people have been hurt by Elon Musk directly. By the way, the algorithm is hitting me hard right now, completely ignoring me. So I'd appreciate if you watch to the end of the video. Having increased watch time as a percentage and a raw number is what pushes the video further. Also, check out my books, owenmorgan.com. All right, back to the video.
So I think we just have a deranged, there's some kind of mental illness thing going on here, because this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
and I think there are larger forces at work as well. I mean, I don't know who's funding it and who's coordinating it, because this is crazy. I've never seen anything like this. Yeah,
it's such bullshit. It's being organized or whatever. You can't accept that. Well, I think he probably does know this, but this is an organic movement. He wants to make it out as though it's not an organic movement. He wants to make it out like there's some nefarious deep state plot behind this. No, you're just a scumbag and nobody likes you. You ever consider that one? Is that a possibility in your head, maybe? And if you notice, there's that bit about the mental illness. This is super disturbing to me, because there was a state senator, who's trying to make Trump derangement syndrome a real mental illness. It's this guy right here. I talked about him previously, but he was, you know what? Just listen to this video.
Every Sunday night during session, I say goodbye to my wife and kids and make the 3-hour trek to St. Paul to fight for our way of life, because day after day, it is under attack from Metro liberals.
Okay, so this guy, he submitted a bill to Congress to declare Trump derangement syndrome a real mental illness. And again, I did a whole video on this next half of the video.
A Minnesota state senator just arrested, accused of soliciting a minor for prostitution.
Oopsie daisies.
40-year-old Senator Justin Eichhorn is a Republican representing Grand Rapids. Bloomington police say that detectives posed as a 16-year-old girl and arranged to meet with him in Bloomington. Well, he was arrested after arriving in the area of the meeting spot.
Anyway, he tried to make Trump derangement syndrome a real thing, and we're going to read this article in a second, but here's the disturbing part about it. If Trump derangement syndrome is classified as a mental illness by the Trump administration, it justifies forcible institutionalization. So it justifies the police arresting you, finding things that are negative about Donald Trump on your phone, and putting you in a mental institution for it. And, I mean, they're going to have to open new mental institutions, right? Because there are going to be way too many people. Maybe put some guards out front and, kind of turn it into a privatized prison situation just to make sure nobody escapes. And for the record, not that it matters, but the law is a lot more loose about how long you can stay in a mental institution without due process. You think I'm making this shit up? This is a Guardian article. French scientists denied U.S. entry after phone messages critical of Trump were found. So this French scientist is entering the United States. They stop him. They go through his phone, find messages where he said he doesn't like Donald Trump, and he was turned away. This is free speech if it ever existed. Is this not free speech? Is he not free to say what he wants about anybody? This isn't even threats or anything. This is just I don't like Trump. A French scientist is denied entry to the U.S. this month after immigration officers at an airport searched his phone and found messages in which he'd expressed criticism of the Trump administration. I learned with concern that a French researcher, by the way, this is the French minister. I learned with concern that a French researcher who was traveling to a conference near Houston was denied entry to the U.S. before being expelled. Philippe Baptiste, France's Minister of Higher Education and Research, said in a statement on Monday to Agence France Presse published by Le Monde. This measure is apparently taken by the American authorities because the researcher's phone contained exchanges with colleagues and friends in which he expressed personal opinion on the Trump administration's research policy. Freedom of opinion, free research, and academic freedom are values that we will continue to proudly uphold. I will defend the right of all French researchers to be faithful to them while respecting the law, Baptiste said. So the point is, I'm not exaggerating. They are going through people's phones right now, and if they don't like what you've said, you will face consequences. The First Amendment is dead right now. That is by no stretch of the imagination the only example of that happening. The First Amendment is dead. So it's particularly disturbing to see people pushing for a Trump derangement syndrome mental illness. This is the article on Newsweek, released March 16th. 5 Republican Minnesota state senators are set to introduce a bill tomorrow that would classify Trump derangement syndrome, TDS, which they define as an acute onset of paranoia regarding the presidencies of Donald Trump, as a mental illness, according to state documents. Newsweek has reached out to the state Senate minority and majority leaders for comment via contact form on Sunday morning. Why it matters. Throughout his presidential campaigns, Trump and his top communication advisors, including current White House Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt and Communications Director Stephen Chung, have repeatedly accused many critics of having a severe case of Trump derangement syndrome, as Chung previously told Newsweek. The phrase has also been used by Republican politicians and talk show hosts, among others. The bill seeking to classify TDS as a mental illness raises concerns about the politicization of mental health diagnoses, which could be used to misappropriate care, diminish other mental health concerns, and suppress dissent and political expression. That's some disturbing shit right there, bro. For real. Anyway, this whole thing is really, really disturbing, and I would love to see that it doesn't go any further than this, but holy Christ on a cracker, we need to be vigilant. It is now time to start building out an area where we could hide people if we need to. It is now time to let our community, neighbors and churchgoers and whoever know we have a place that they can sleep if they need it. Dead serious. Not for nothing, I just want to point something out here. This is Richard Spencer, okay? He's a full-blown, self-avowed neo-Nazi. And if you notice, he's got a haircut where it's fade on the side. It's real close cut on the side, and it's long on the top, right? See another guy here, fade or real close on the side, long on the top. This is an evangelical speaker. Here's another one. Fade on the side or real close cut, long on the top. This is Heinrich Himmler. Hitler's, inner circle, second, third in command, somewhere in there. Real close on the side, long on the top. This is a Nazi haircut. That's the style. This is the style that they had in Germany in the 30s. It's not something that you can't have today, and it's not a completely absurd and odd haircut. I have a fade sometimes. Like when I get my hair cut, I'll have a fade. But when I see Nazis with this haircut, you know, it kind of raises my eyebrows a little bit. Like, especially when people like Elon Musk put it on their children and take a picture with their children with the exact haircut style that Heinrich Himmler had. Just weird is all I'm saying. It's just weird. Not as bad as a Hitler stash. No, I mean, the haircut's not bad. It's just a Nazi haircut. That's all. Oh yeah, and you know who else likes having Nazi haircuts? Peter Thiel, who is famous for saying Weimar Germany in the 1920s was a failed state and needed Nazis to take it over, basically. Oh my God. Let me know what you think in the comments.